All right, welcome everyone. Get ready because we're about to go on a super fast tour through some of the, well, frankly, weirdest corners of the mammal family tree. We're going to find out about some secret connections between animals you would never guess are related. So let's just jump right in. Okay, so let's kick things off with a little bit of a puzzle. I want you to think about this. What could a super slow sloth, an armadillo, which is basically a living tank, and a bat, a creature of the night, what could they possibly have in common? Got any ideas? Well, let's find out.
The answer is the placenta. Yep, they are all placental mammals. So what does that even mean? It just means their babies develop inside the mom, getting all their food and nutrients from this amazing organ. And the diversity in this group, it is huge. I mean, you've got mice born in just 21 days, all the way to elephants that take almost 2 years. It's basically the big evolutionary club that most mammals, yep, including us, are a part of.
Okay, so our first stop on this tour is with a group that has a name that literally means strangely jointed. How cool is that? We're talking about the order Xenarthra. And the stars of the show are the sloth, the anteater, and the armadillo. Now, you look at them, they look nothing alike, right? So what in the world is their secret connection? Well, this is their family's secret handshake. It's something called Xenarthrose processes. Basically, they're these extra joints in their lower back that no other mammals have. And what do? They give them this incredible stability. It lets them support their entire body on their back legs while their front claws are busy digging or, hanging from a tree. So inside this strangely jointed family, you've really got two different ways of life. On one hand, you have the sloth, the king of slow, just hanging out in trees. And on the other hand, you've got the anteaters and armadillos, who are absolute master diggers. So let's check out their superpowers, one by one. Okay, pop quiz time. How many bones are in your neck? Go on, guess. It's 7. And you know what? Almost every mammal, I'm talking a tiny little mouse, all the way up to a giant giraffe, has 7. But not the sloth. Some of them have up to 9, and that lets them turn their heads almost all the way around, like 270 degrees. It's a total real-life superpower for spotting danger without having to move a single muscle. Want another mind-blowing number? 30 minutes. What do you think that is? Well, that's how long a sloth can hold its breath underwater. Seriously, their metabolism is just so incredibly slow that they turn into amazing swimmers, and they can just chill out underwater for a full half an hour. And I mean, the sloth is just perfectly designed for an upside-on life. Those giant claws, they're like built-in climbing hooks, locking right onto branches so they can hang there without even trying. Oh, and get this. This is my favorite part. Their hair grows the opposite way of most animals. It goes from their belly to their back, so when it rains, the water just streams right off while they're hanging out. So clever. All right, let's move on to the anteater. This thing is a perfectly designed insect-eating machine. Think about it. It's got this super long snout, a sticky tongue that's actually longer than its entire head, thick fur to protect it from bites, and these crazy powerful front claws. A giant anteater can rip open and snack it up to 200 insect mounds in just one day. Wow. And that brings us to our last member of the strangely jointed crew, the armadillo. The name actually means little armored one in Spanish, which is perfect. Its body is covered in these bony plates, right? But the secret is the flexible bands in the middle. When it gets scared, those bands let it roll up into this perfect, nearly indestructible ball. Okay, so we're leaving the strangely jointed guys behind. Next up, we've got a group of small but seriously mighty mammals, the order Insectivora. We're talking about shrews, moles, and hedgehogs. Yeah, they're tiny, but don't let that fool you. They are some of the most high-energy hunters on the entire planet.
The absolute key thing you have to get about this group is their metabolism. It's just off the charts. Like, as this says, shrews have to eat their entire body weight in food every single day just to stay alive. They are living life in the absolute fast lane. Their hearts can beat over 800 times a minute. Can you even imagine?
Now, let's talk about moles. These guys are the master engineers of the underground. And they don't just dig random holes, oh no. They build this super complex two-part system. So you've got the shallow tunnels, which are basically a giant maze for hunting worms, and then you have the deep burrows. That's their safe house where they sleep and raise their families. And then you've got the hedgehog. Its defense mechanism is legendary, for real. When it's threatened, it just curls up into this tight, spiky fortress that almost nothing can get through. But here's what's even crazier. Hedgehogs are immune to most kinds of snake and insect venom. How awesome is that? Okay, we've been on the ground, we've been underground. Now let's take to the skies. Our next group, the order Chiroptera, has the only mammals that are capable of true powered flight. Of course, I'm talking about bats, the rulers of the night sky. So why the fancy name Chiroptera? Well, it literally means wing hand, and that perfectly describes how they fly. See, a bat's wing isn't like a bird's wing at all. It's actually a hand, just with these super, super long finger bones and a thin, stretchy piece of skin stretched between them. So yeah, bats are literally flying with their hands. And the range of sizes in this group is just staggering. I mean, on one end, you've got the Kitti's hog-nosed bat. It's about the size of a bumblebee. It's the world's smallest mammal. Then you go all the way to the other end of the spectrum and you have these giant fruit bats called flying foxes. Their wingspan can be 5 feet. That's as wide as a tall person. So the big question is, how do they navigate and hunt in total darkness? Well, they have a built-in sonar system called echolocation. Here's how it works. The bat sends out these super high-pitched sounds. Those sound waves hit something, like a bug. They bounce back, the bat's amazing ears pick up the echo, and its brain instantly creates a perfect picture of what's out there. It's literally seeing with sound. All right, for our final stop on this wild tour, we're going to visit some of our closest relatives, the super intelligent, super adaptable order primates. This is the group with all the monkeys, apes, and lemurs. So, what makes a primate a primate? Well, it all comes down to their special toolkit. They have grasping hands and feet, right? And a lot of them have opposable thumbs for a really precise grip. Plus, their eyes face forward. That gives them amazing binocular vision, which creates the awesome depth perception you need if you're going to be leaping from tree to tree. But, not all monkeys are the same. You can basically split them into 2 big groups. You've got New World monkeys from the Americas. They often have these prehensile or grasping tails that work like an extra arm. Then you have Old World monkeys from Africa and Asia, and their tails can't do that. Want a really quick way to tell them apart? Seriously, just look at their noses. The shape gives it away. And of course, we can't talk about primates without talking about the biggest one of all, the male gorilla. These guys can weigh around 400 pounds. That's 180 kilograms. They are incredibly powerful, just pure muscle. But the surprising thing? Despite that huge size, they're mostly vegetarians. Gentle giants, for sure. Okay, let's do a super fast recap of the superpowers we've seen today. We had the Xenarthra with their unique, strangely jointed backs for digging, the Insectivora with those crazy fast metabolisms for nonstop hunting, the Chiroptera owning the night sky with flight and biological sonar, and finally, the primates, mastering the trees with grasping hands and awesome 3D vision. We've only looked at 4 of the 18 different orders of placental mammals. That's it. So that leaves me with one last question for you. With all those other groups out there, what other amazing abilities and incredible superpowers are still out there in the mammal family tree, just waiting for us to discover? Pretty cool to think about. Thanks so much for joining me on this tour.